How are you, family? I'm just giving you all a different shot. And now I'm doing a little bit in front of the house as we continue to make progress here at the hobby farm. What's over my head right now is one of my good luck charms made out of owl's feathers and other little trinkets. Brings you good fortune and good luck. Anyways, family, I want to talk to you all because I had a very disturbing, frightening travel. Very frightening, very frightening. And I would like to share it with you. I noticed something. I noticed something. You know, as I tell you all the time, I have my travels in the morning. So usually I get up, have to go to the bathroom or whatever about a certain time in the morning, and then I'll go ahead and lay back down, and then I'll go ahead and travel. I noticed the pattern. And so when I was trying to settle down and go to sleep, that 17-inch Android that I have, it usually speaks to me in Morse code. Now, I used to have those taps on my windows, on the glass. Now, they are in my home. They are actually tapping on my Android, and some of you all may hear it when I'm in the kitchen. You can hear the tap tap. So now I could have that Android in the bed with me. It's going to speak to me and tap to me. Now, usually I will talk to it and say, "Okay, I hear you." No response, but I figured it out. If I telepathically speak to it, it responds. So if I telepathically send a message to it and say, "I hear you," don't say it loud, it taps back. Each time, it taps back. What the hell it means? That's not the point. See, we want a meaning to everything. There's not quite a meaning to everything. I just saw a little shadow doggy thing right there. I don't like to see those. Every time I see shadow dogs and stuff like that, one of my dogs either gets sick or fall ill. So I'm going to say that's not what that is. Because, you know, I can see death, like death shadows. If they're like the size of a child, that means it's going to be a child. If they're the size of an animal, it's going to be an animal or whatever. Oh, the squirrels are back. I hate squirrels, y'all. I mean, I just rather eat them. You know what I'm saying? I just eat them. I'm going to get me a squirrel trap so I can eat those squirrels. And if you need squirrel tails, let me know. So anyway, so it's not about the meaning. It's the message. So if we can apply that to our everyday life, instead of us saying, "What's the meaning of all of this?" Let's just say, "What's the message of all of this?" What's the meaning? Why did he come to me? Why? No. What's the message, the hidden message, or the in-your-face message of what is going on with you here? Okay? It's hot as fuck. The sun is burning me. The radiation from the sun is actually cooking my arms and my face. This is February of 2017, and the sun here in the southeastern hemisphere is beating down on us. At this point, there is something seriously wrong. The message in the taps, I finally think I discovered something. And I'm going to talk about that. What it did was it induced a prophecy. I immediately once I drifted off, was teleported to a place that looked so familiar by the airport in Birmingham. And mind you, it was dark, and I'm starting to have more travels where I can't see the eyes and the nose and the mouths of people. I'm only seeing the darkness in their face, which I know that's something that I have to, you know, try to discover whatever the message of that is. Not understand it, because you can't understand anything, y'all. But I was actually in my brother-in-law's house. And when I was in my brother-in-law's house, I was laying on a sofa, the love seat sofa, and my husband was laying on the long sofa, and there was an African woman in the back of the house and near the kitchen walking back and forth, and she was pregnant, carrying a baby, and she was laboring with that baby, walking back and forth, and she was in pain. And for some reason, I wasn't prompted to go and check on her or do anything about it, because it was like she was in a whole nother dimension. But she was giving birth to something, and I had a baby that looked very strange. It was a real small, strange-looking baby, and I wanted to take it with me, but some kind of a way I felt like, and someone was sending telepathic messages to me saying that it was someone else's baby and you couldn't have it. But I was dressing it up like I dressed up my Getty. Matter of fact, I took my Getty doll clothes and dressed the little infant up with it, this strange-looking infant. And in the midst of doing that, it was dark in that place. You couldn't see the eyes and the face of Mr. Willie or anything. And all of a sudden, I heard come up from the sky, and then it just, and in the midst of that, I promptly went to the window and peeked out, and there was like this lightning that was traveling, not in the sky, but in the atmosphere, is traveling like all around. It was the weirdest looking lightning pattern I have ever seen. That's the best way I can describe it, you know. It wasn't radioactive or anything like that. It just looked like, you know how lightning looks? It was moving around. And finally, I heard an explosion. Boom! And it was so close and nearby. And I looked out the window again after hearing the explosion. And there were like a lot of black folks and stuff walking around, looking around and everything. And the only reason why I'm saying it was black folks, because that's what it looked like. It looked like it was a lot of black people out in the street looking around, and they were, y'all hear these military planes? And I'm gonna get to what's going on. All of these military airplanes and helicopters and stuff going on around us. And so, yeah, that looks military in nature. But there's an Air Force base not too far. And so, damn, this sun is radioactive. That's radiation coming from the sun. And it's getting a little worse than ever. And it's beaming down on me. And so, because I remember seeing a pregnant woman carrying a baby and lots of people. You just see the silhouettes just walking around because smoke was everywhere. It was like a blue mist of smoke with people walking everywhere trying to figure out what was going on. And so I went back in. I was really, really frightened and shook up. And I was talking to I call him Mr. Willie to y'all, but I looked at Willie and I said, Willie, I said, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And he was not fazed by it. It was almost like he didn't hear it. And then, boom, the sound just came again. It rocked the house on the other side, and it was another explosion. And then from there, I blacked out because I think the final explosion, goddamn, this sun is cooking my goddamn legs. The final explosion, boom, hit, and it actually killed us. And I'm not quite sure whether or not I was teleported to another place, because I looked up I started looking to see if I could research. I found out that a plane had crashed somewhere, but the people survived. But I knew it wasn't a crash of a plane. And then I saw in Syria where they had some bombs and stuff to go off. Mind you, this is February 24th of 2017. But then I began to hear the taps again, because after I was killed in the explosion, I was immediately teleported back here. And the Android, the 17-inch Android, began to tap again and create an image on the screen. After that, I was told something that was very frightening, and I just remember trying to go somewhere and curl up in a corner. I don't know if you ever been in a natural disaster, but I have been in a tornado many times in my life. I lived near a tornado track, the tornado alley in an area called Forestdale. And my first experience they told us that the Native Americans told them to not to build houses there because the Native Americans lived in the woods out there and said that it was a track there. And I guess they didn't believe, they didn't care. Smithfield bought the land anyway and built houses in that area and stuff. So Smithfield built homes there, and a lot of black people bought it. Mississippi Town is what they used to call it. In its heyday, lots of colored folks would have all kinds of dances and stuff like that. And up and down that strip called Cherry Avenue was every type of cabin you can name. They had a cabin for New York. They had a cabin for different things. I need to talk to Clara Jean and continue to document that history. She also told me that we were on mines, and under the mines were lots of people buried there. Native Americans and Africans were buried alive there. You know, the mines would just fall down, and people just died under there. Lots of African Americans died under there. And so we were actually living on a graveyard, so to speak. So I think that's probably why so many tracks came through there. You know what I'm saying? I do think the land was cursed. I decided to move. Also, within the travel, I saw that the houses in the area that I had moved away from were totally obliterated. There is a disaster that is coming of great proportions that I cannot even fathom. They're creating storms and anomalies, weather anomalies right as we speak. These magnetic storms are very dangerous, highly dangerous, you know, because they're not just in the sky. They're actually traveling and moving and shit, moving in the air. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm still dealing with this but this Android that is speaking to me. You know, now I know a lot of people are going to think it's hilarious. You're going to think it's ridiculous. And I don't blame you, because shit, I feel the same way. I feel like, damn, this is some crazy ass shit. I've gotten some readings where some of the women were just honest and just told me, you know, you look like you crazy as hell. And I said, I know, because I feel crazy as hell, but everything I say come true. You know, so the doctors can label it all kind of names: schizophrenic, schizotypical, bipolar disorder. What's that other one? Dissociative disorder. It's just every single name you could possibly come up with. But so anyways, nice looking lumber. Somebody got a lot of lumber. It's going to be some nice fires, ain't it? Or with some good smoked meat. Making me hungry. And so, what time I got? But at the same time, too, if you see my Ripoff Report, because I tell everybody, go on out there, look at it and stuff. The young lady said that she said I brought her daughter home. Okay? I also saved her home, too. Her house was $8,000 in the rears. In foreclosure. She got the money up in 3 days. I pulled that money, that cash out for her. And every prophecy I told her came true. That's what I want you to focus on. But now she's bitter because in that game, she wanted somebody's husband, a sheriff's husband. And I wasn't finna do that. And I was going to post the man's name and all of his information, but due to privacy issues, I decided not to. I feel like if you put me on blast, I have every right to defend myself and put you on blast too. If you don't want your business recorded, then don't put me in a position to have to record that, because that is a permanent document. Now, some people use the document to be malicious. I only ask people with a sound level head. You understand what I'm saying? To look at that document. If your head is not sounding level, you know, people can just take that thing and run it in the ground to epic proportions and just, you know what I'm saying? It's because a lot of people that are on there, you know, a lot of information is on there is erroneous information. But I do know her. Her information is accurate. Others, they don't know anything about me because I don't know anything about them. You know, so if you really want somebody to figure out what is going on with you, I'm the one to call. Look at that. She wouldn't lie. She had it in for me. Okay, and there are rebuttals to her report of people who have had wonderful experiences that came to my defense, and I appreciate every last one of them. I haven't been making it a habit of getting anybody to go there lately because I get most of my business there. People, oh, how did you find me? Oh, well, I decided to go with you after I did a review on you, and I saw that Ripoff Report. Because I'm not looking at all the other stuff. I'm looking at the fact that you said that she said that everything you said came true. So you best better believe when I'm telling you this, I know what I'm talking about. I'm still, even though I'm 50, I'm still learning to how to be able to discern the signs. I don't quite have that together. That's just like I had an experience where I was teleported to a tornado, and 3 days later, the tornado came to New Orleans. I'm not sure if this anomaly is going to happen in the New Orleans or not, where there's going to be a lot of booms and electromagnetic statical particles that are going to instantly do destruction. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not quite sure where this is coming from because I'm still trying to learn to study the signs. You understand? Anyway, it's a wonderful gift, but with that gift comes a lot of responsibility and a lot of ass whoopings too, because people are going to hate you. They always hated witches. There was never any peace for the witch. She was always targeted, scapegoat, bullied. All of that comes with witchcraft. And for any, especially any woman doing the supernatural, men got it a little bit better. But women have always been demonized, especially the female witch. So I understand when people bully me, when people harass me. You understand? When people insult me, racially as well as sexually. I'm dealing with sexism, racism. I'm dealing with all of these things in one. And the fact that I am a witch, I believe in voodoo. I have totally told Jesus that he is no longer welcome in my life anymore. I told him that long time ago. I just said on film. And that I'm 100% voodoo. I've sold my soul, if y'all want to call it, to the spirit, to the demon, to the... I done it all. Because in my life, it works better for me. You understand what I'm saying? Say what you want to say. Call it what you want to call it. Yes, I've been to the crossroads. Going back there again today. You understand? For it was another sacrifice. I'd rather do that and live comfortably than to come here and live hell looking for something that won't be in the afterlife. It's not going to be, y'all. It's not going to be. Whatever this thing is y'all looking for in the sky, Sky Daddy ain't coming, y'all. You know, my mama died looking for the rapture. Her mama died looking for the rapture. Her mama died waiting on the fucking rapture. It's just something that these globalists give to us and shit. Keep us quiet and committed to working their corporations and enslaving us. That's it. That's it, y'all. Is that and only that. And don't you forget it. I'm encouraging every woman to walk away from the church. The church is just go there and socialize and everything. Have fun. But the church is not going to save us from this imminent fucking danger we're in. There's an imminent fucking danger coming our way. Excuse me, y'all. Just got to drink a lot of water. You're going to need that water because the sun ain't going to do nothing but evaporate it right off of you. You're going to need it. You're going to need it. The church ain't going to be able to say, now one of us. Y'all better get rid of that Jesus Christ thing. Ain't no Jesus going to do nothing for me. And look at him and look at me. Do we look anything alike? And I'm not going to get into that thing anymore. Because some people got emotional with me because I refused to believe in it. I refused to submit it because it was rocking their foundation and stuff. So if you still on the Jesus bandwagon, this probably won't be the video for you, because I had to let it go because that thing wasn't working for me, y'all. Danger is on its way. And I'm going to sit down and study the sound frequencies of that, because I never understand it. I'll never understand it. Only thing I can say is this: I'm just looking and hearing the message from it. That's it. Get in tune with every sound you hear. Get in tune with every shadow that moves, that you see. It ain't no trick of your eye. That's the spirit world. You see a light flash by or shadow flash by, you're interacting with the spiritual world. And the spiritual world is real. It's real. I'm going to the crossroads tonight. So you say, oh, mama done sold her soul to the devil. What if that's what y'all call it? Then that's what it shall be. Because I give myself totally over to the spirit world. Because that's what my ancestors was. They was dealing with the spirit world. You understand? The fact that you all have traded the spirit world in for the Christianity world, which is not even old. Okay, the spirit world, the spirit religion is your religion. It's the oldest religion on the planet. So yes, I've given myself to that. Okay? I sure have. To all 7 African powers, I sure have. Oh, do you do voodoo? What does that mean? Well, I guess I do. I guess I do voodoo. Wouldn't hesitate to do it. But I know that's some serious shit, man. That's some serious. That's serious, man. It ain't just like what you could just brush off like that, man. It's a lot to that. You know. So I know my ancestors practice voodoo. So I talk to them all the time. I commune with them all the time. Hell, I am my ancestors. Hell. So if it takes me to have to slaughter something and sacrifice something to save me, you better believe I'm gonna damn do it. So I can have a nice, comfortable life and get the things I fucking want. You better believe I'm gonna do it. You understand? Because my mama died waiting on Jesus. My mama cried waiting on Jesus. He never showed up. She was disappointed. A lot of folk go to the afterlife and they disappointed because they figured out that the church was lying to them. You go out and experiment for yourself. You go out and study for yourself. You go out and get all the information for yourself. Don't wait on nobody to give you information, because you're going to die and you're going to leave this place and you're going to regret it that you did not take the opportunity to live your own life. You was allowing somebody else to live your life. Okay? Gotta go, y'all.